Holes. Hi. It's been a year. The planet is in the same spot in one plane. I don't know which one. Uh, you know, it's in the same spot that it was in the first time that I started this. Like, my latitude's different and my longitude's different, but the place in space of the planet relative to the sun in one of the planes is kind of the same. Dates don't matter, not really, but you know, they do. Yeah, a year ago today, I first set this up with this same mirror. Well, there's two mirrors. I'm not sure if it's this exact same one. And I started this, you know, fully and well aware of how anxious and how depressed I can be. And it can be like, I forgot another part of me existed until 2021. Like, I forgot about the part of me that's not ruled by anxious and depressive thoughts. Like, those thoughts were blinding me for so long. I'd just forgotten myself. And I found her again basically right before I moved. And so I know what my depression and anxiety is capable of. And I started this so I would have an outlet and I would have a way of getting my thoughts out. Because, like, moving alone, like, it was terrifying. And it's still terrifying. You know, today I finally registered my car in Mass. Well, I registered my car last week. I went to the RMV. I cried afterwards. Nothing horrific happened. It was just stressful. And then I used the wrong card to pay the $135 to register my car. And then, you know, I started my period the next day, so I was just like, you know, I went into my car and started weeping. And then after like 5 minutes of me just crying in my car, I looked up and some other guy was sitting in his car right next to me eating Wendy's. And I was like, wow, he just witnessed all of that. I hope he enjoyed it. Yeah, I did that. Today I got my inspection done, and the guy who did the inspection, they put their inspection sticker on the right of the windshield. In Texas, you put your sticker on the left. So my right side has all my other stickers, like my beach permit from home and like a couple other things. But he was like, "Do you want to take this off?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so." And I watched him scrape it off from 2021, my beach permit, which was kind of a lot to take in. And then he took off. Well, I didn't see him take it off, but when I got my car, my Texas registration sticker was gone. So any remnant of what was Texas is gone. I cleaned my car for the first time since I moved the other day. So there's still sand in my car, I guess, from Corpus, but still. I've been so anxious that I couldn't go to a car wash by myself. I'm still too anxious. My mind's all over the place. I've come far and wide with my anxiety just in the last month, which is part of why I haven't been on here very much. I thought I would because I was alone again. But here's the danger is not in being alone. It's in being in this headspace where things are not good. Which, they tend to come out when you're alone, but you can live separate from them, which is what I'm finding. I didn't know any of these things when I moved. And I always romanticized how lonely I am and how sad I am. And I've just finally learned that, my brain is not unique. My experiences are unique. The things that I've been through in my life are unique. But the way in which my brain responds to them and perceives them is not unique. If something sad happens to me, then I'll be sad and I might recluse, and it's, a normal response. Nothing about my response is special. Maybe what happened is kind of special. But at the end of all of it, I'm just feeling the same things that I first felt so many years ago. I'm learning a lot. And I learned a lot through this too, and I'm so glad that I started making these videos, because every once in a blue moon I'll watch another one and I'll see how different I am. I watched the very first one the other day, and my voice was so much higher pitched. I watched the very first one and then I watched the most recent one, and I cried. I cried watching the most recent one because she's getting wrapped again and she's sad. And then in the first one, I forgot how happy I was. And, that's the me that found myself again. And my voice is so much higher pitched and I'm talking so much more quickly. I consciously keep my voice lower, more monotone, because I think people will take me seriously, or at least more seriously, if I do that. So I've really trained myself to just keep my voice at a lower pitch. Because if I don't, it can get very high and it can get very fast and I sound like a fucking bug, and then everybody's laughing at me when I say something really serious because they can't take me seriously. But that's what I sounded like. All of my life, I thought it would be funny. Just to give you an idea of how badly my anxiety and depression can just completely take me over and hold me there for years, is my first word was button. My grandma taught me button. She had these buttons on her robes. I watched her try to teach my younger brother and youngest sibling the same word, and I'm the only genius that got it. But yeah, button was my first word, and I always thought that it would be hilarious if I also made it my last word. If I pulled my grandson in really close and I'm in the hospital bed and I'm delusional and nothing makes sense, and I bring him in, and one of the kids is she's trying to say something, and he's like, "What, Grandma, what?" And I'm just the secret lies with button. Or don't push the button. Or just button. What if I get a parrot and I name it Button and then I give my grandchildren Button? That'd be hilarious. I think it's so funny that like parrots can outlive you. Like parrots, jewelry, vinyl. That's it. That's all you can really hand off, and it'll be the same, you know. It can be enjoyed in the same way as like the person before. I can't talk. I hope you know what I'm trying to say. But my point is, like, I always thought that would be so funny if that was my last word. And I got so, like, I've been thinking this since I was a kid. I got so lost in my anxiety and in my depression from 2017 all the way through 2021 that when I finally started finding myself again, I just remembered. I was like, oh yeah, I always wanted that to be my last word. And the reason why I forgot that is because I kept seeing death as like in my 20s, in the now, in my apartment, on my floor. That's how I perceived death. It wasn't something years away. It was always something so close and so inevitable. And when I'm saddest, that's where my brain takes me. And it tries to convince me that like none of this means anything. None of this means anything. You always end up in the same spot. You try and you try and you try, and nobody understands and nobody wants you. You know, all of the usual shit that a lot of people's brains tell them. And there's a power in recognizing that your brain is a physical thing. There's a power in recognizing that every shitty thought that you've ever had about yourself came from you. There is a power in that because it's all inherently in your head, behind your eyes, in between your ears. It's only there. And when you're saddest and you're spiraling and you're freaking out and all you want to do is be drunk so you don't feel it anymore, it's just you. There is a power and there is a fear in that, but I'm finding the power in it. And anyway, you should start therapy. I can't recommend it enough. It's fascinating. You know, I've been doing this whole thing. I didn't even make sure that you could see the screen well. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm glad that I started these videos because it did give me something to do, but it gave me something bigger. It's like this self-reflection that I have, like that I'm able to go back and look at now, has been extremely helpful. Being able to articulate my thoughts in this way has been extremely helpful, like in therapy, but also just in general. And so like when I'm starting to deal with anxiety or anything really, if something funny happens or something painful or whatever, my brain brings me here. Sometimes when I'm laying in bed at night, I go through the whole fucking thing where like I'm laying in bed and then I get up and then I put up the mirror and then I get out my laptop and then I plug this in, and if I've been to therapy, that means this thing is not clipped and it's on my laptop, so then I have to like screw this little tripod on there and then I have to make it all even. Then I have to get the lighting right and turn on the right lamps, then I have to get my switch, then I have to go back and remember to get this thing and like all this stuff. I do all of that in my head. I set it up down to like turning on my laptop, opening the camera, the whole fucking thing. And I just start talking. I start talking about everything that I want to. And I'm not gonna lie, some of it's fucking gold. Like comedic gold, fucking hilarious. I really like think about, damn, I should get up right now and do this. And then I'm like, no, I'm tired. I don't want to get up. It's too bad they're missing out. But yeah, I can't tell you how many times that I've come in here in my mind, and you know, previously I was getting up, like I would think about the things that I wanted to say during the day and the things that were on my mind, and then I would come home and I would do it. But it got to the point where I just kind of would resolve my issues on my own in my head, and then I didn't feel the need to do it physically. And then also the setup was really agitating me after a while. Yeah, I rearranged my furniture and now my desk is in the living area, which is, you might hear an echo. I hear an echo. You might hear an echo. I finally took the desk in my bedroom because my bedroom is so like dark. And now, because I did that and I let go of my stubbornness, like my bedroom feels like a bedroom and it feels cozy and it feels nice. And now my living area looks just so much brighter and better. I've been using my desk for like, all the usual things besides just, it being a part of a prop of this setup. Like I'm happier. Like I'm happier. It's not perfect because today I was feeling, it started yesterday, and I was feeling those pangs of anxiety and depression again. And it's my fault. I looked at my ex's social media. And then all of these things hit me, and all day long I've just been here in my head. And I resolved it. Well, at least I'm trying to. I'm understanding myself a little bit better. I have this part that tells me that the reason why people don't treat me the way I should be treated is because I don't deserve it. Like if I was better, if I was prettier or smarter or funnier or kinder or more interesting, if I was any of those things, that person would have been everything for me. And because I wasn't those things, they didn't see the point in being better for me. And so it is my fault. And this part of me hates me. And she's not mean to me. She just wants to rip herself apart from me. She just wants to run away. That's that part. And I've been trying to understand that and where it comes from. And I think she started when I was maybe 15. That's how old she is. But I've been working through it and it's been really helpful. Anyway, yeah, at the end of it, I just don't need this anymore. Sometimes I do want to get on and joke and talk about my life, but then I think about it and I don't think I want to. I want to share my life with other people and be present and in the moment. I'm talking way more at work. Which has been great. I am dating somebody else. Yeah, after I went on a date with that guy who fucking met me with his fucking feet out, I deleted Hinge. But I still have Bumble because I was trying to meet other women on Bumble, to meet, make BFFs, if you will, on Bumble BFF. And then it wasn't really working, so I went back to the men's side, and I'm glad I did because I found this guy through that. And I remember thinking oh, he's cute. I hope I hear back from him. And then I did. And this was on the day that I saw Gerard Carmichael, and that was pretty cool. He was pretty great. I wanted to say things, but I was too nervous. I don't want to talk in the middle of a crowd and have everybody look at me. Anyway, but it was really good, and some of the things he said were very nice to hear. Oh, maybe, I don't want to give it away. It's just, I don't know. I could relate to those things. Wanting intimacy and feeling alone. I'll play one more game. Wouldn't that be cool if I ended this on 2806? My games usually, like, they last about 8 minutes and some seconds, so I guess we'll see. I feel like that's too good to be true. If I lose at the right time, then... Or I could just end the game. Yeah, so that was on June 3rd? What day is it? The 20th? Okay, I just said that. The 30th is a Thursday. Minus 21 is the 9th. Minus another 7 is the 2nd. Plus, yeah, okay, that's the 3rd. And then we hung out on the 4th. I'm so scared. I'm so scared that now that I'm putting it into the world, it's all gonna end. Which is, you know, I've been dealing with this part lately. But this feels so much better. I don't come home crying anymore because I'm too frustrated to talk, and I don't, like, I'm genuinely having a good time, and I want to see where it keeps going. Yeah. I harvested some radishes today from my garden. I don't eat radishes. So, I tend to plant, like, I tend to grow things that I don't eat. I don't know why I do that. But I did get some heirloom tomatoes, and there are some tomatoes that are ready to, like, you know, growing, and I'm excited. I had 2 basil plants. They're not doing the best. I found out that, like, whatever they put in my lot or bed or whatever wasn't like dirt. It was like just straight mulch, which is why nothing is growing and everything is like a bright green. But, you know, regardless, I have radishes. Now it's time for so long. So I think this might be the last one for a while. At least in this format. Because I'm tired of this setup now. I am. I found myself resenting doing this again. Well, because I hated my desk situation in my bedroom, but also I just like, I'm just kind of tired of it. I liked doing reviews while playing Tetris, so I might do that again in October. Just because, like, if I reviewed every single thing I watched, that it would just get annoying. We have enough of that. But I had fun doing it in October, and that's all that matters. I'll do it if I have fun with it. Speaking of things that I've watched, Barry was fucking incredible. I'm just like, that was the first time that I could actually understand what a director does for television and for cinema. That was like my jaw was on the floor for like the last half of the second to last episode and the last episode. Like, it's so good. Yeah, I do want to make more. And that's the other thing. I think this format was holding me back from the other things that I considered making. Because I have recorded other things that warrant this setup. You know, but like, part of me wants to stay consistent, and part of me wants to not try so hard. Because what if I start trying really hard and then it all just doesn't go well? What if I hate it? What if I'm annoyed with it? really the problem. Is just like I get annoyed with myself. But yeah, I'm just like, I'm always here, you know? But not in a bad way. So. Yeah, this is kind of sad. It's kind of crazy. It's a very weird chapter in my life. And I have no idea where I feel like this was the pivot of my life. I really do. And I'm happy that I have this weird journal thing to see it through. And like I know I'm gonna miss my apartment in the future, so I get to see it through here too. And also my very first apartment was recorded in the first episode, so I have that. But yeah, I think that's the other thing. I have a cool apartment and I want to utilize it. And I have some ideas. I have a camera. I have a solid camera. I have storage now. I have a means of saving very large files. I've already edited, I think, like 5 videos already. So, like, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. I should make something. Because I want to, and I have ideas. I'm stalling. We're almost at 28:06. Oh, we're there. Oh my god. This hurts. Bye.